Here you go, sir. Thank you. You are very welcome.
Yes. I was in the car. I'm hoping it's cold enough.
Hi, I have a planning board report, because we had a meeting last night from George and Laura.
Nobody's showing me.
I'll see you some,
Okay.
Oh, that's if you want to be on the committee. Any of them might have a voting. We always need more.
I think the speaker has the most power.
Cloth anywhere, do we?
Cloth,
Yeah, maybe to just kind of rest it on like a little bit of cloth.
thick
To
towels.
soften the vibration.
Close to it.
She said it was a long night.
And I want to get 5 microphones. To the other one, but the other. Just 2 microphones, but the 2 would you could do that. They say that they were do that. Oh, yeah, they got microphones. That's one of them. And each one has a microphone. The Jim, if one doesn't turn it on, he said, hey, get the microphone. And he said, every word they said. So all I got is one individual microphone, and then one for the audience.
They have a speaker system then too. So you gotta have a speaker.
Well, I mean, I don't know. But even so, it's not like one, that's his whole. You can't hear anyway, at least I can't. Before the one that told me, holy cow, it was over QB. And then you can turn your current click the TV sound up. I don't know.
What's that? From this side of the house.
Where does this go?
That was for you, it's just some information about that. Years ago.
Yeah. You want to pop a couple under yours? Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Maybe just lift it off the thing. I meant to grab some little cloth, it makes a
Frame
racket.
of mind. You can have any and here. So far. We'll see what the end of the week is.
Blowing nose. See if it helps.
You have been at all? Have you been?
Stand this in here.
John is the maintenance guy, so he's got his maintenance now.
This is one.
Totals for all department. Totals for. Haven't used that.
Break that out.
And then report totals, so salary 40, 27 regular hours. And then the different things that came out. Yep. Because that's. And then that's the other three.
was set up by the city, town hall in 2016. And I never looked at it for the whole meeting, but I know it's on the town laptop. And it was just all the roads and the conditions and traffic.
People had snow fever, didn't they?
And I just checked out those.
We had a ton of snowmobile purchases, gifts, new registrations, which is great.
So, I mean, I'm just letting you know that. You don't know.
This month, that's for the month.
What's
Oh,
that?
you'll see, I made a mistake on inland
I
fisheries.
saw that, yeah.
So I had to redo it.
She had a mistake on the original warrant.
I can't print out their account notice until the first day of March, but I did the warrant in February, so I didn't catch it.
You know, keep trying to get ahead, saying I'm gonna get this done, and then something changes, something last minute. I really, because I was doing monthly reports, and I had to rerun them all today. And I had it all done. Does Jonathan pronounce his last name Asim?
Assam,
Asim.
for sure.
Because I might introduce just say John. What do you think? Just John. Okay.
So how do you amend that?
That's over here. A bunch of new stuff.
I know it's supposed to be updated, but that's just.
We thank you all for coming. We just have a lot of paperwork to go through that's relatively new to us tonight, so we appreciate your patience, but we're trying to get our business stuff reviewed, so thank you. No, I'm waiting until you're all done. Did you sign that?
Second page.
There's another one, this is all inland fisheries, so I'm like, it is exciting.
The only one that's weekly for state fees is motor vehicle. Everything else is monthly.
But they all have the same thing in mind, which was, I want to ride, we have some stuff. Oh, I didn't date it. Hi,
Can't hear a word you're saying.
I'm not saying anything yet. We haven't started.
No, but you were speaking to the audience about something.
Just telling them we're working on paperwork.
Can't hear a word you're saying.
Is everybody all set? I would like to call this meeting to order. Can we please stand and do the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, first thing on the agenda. First thing on the agenda is the minutes, to approve the minutes for February 18th, Selectmen meeting, and February 24th, Emergency Selectmen meeting. All right, all in favor?
You're missing the signature line, but you can still
I'll
sign.
just sign it. No, just not big enough piece of paper. Maybe like an 8.5, 14. Next on the agenda is approved warrant 20, warrant 21, payroll warrant February 19th and February 26th. I need a second. Okay, all in favor? We're all signed, right, I believe?
Yep.
Excellent. Reports, do we have anything from RSU 10? Anybody here? Nothing yet? Yeah. Okay. We do have a road commissioner report, which is on the table, or do I need to read it?
That's up to you.
Well, if it's on the table, I don't need to read it. Isn't happy to.
Yeah, it is on the table.
It's on the table?
Yes.
Okay. Road committee meets this week, so we have in here a constable report, but we have a very new constable and maintenance person, maintenance director. And so I'd like for him to stand and for everyone to meet our new constable and our maintenance director. Right here is John. Everybody's, he won't remember your names tonight, but he's gonna be around and he'll be attending our meetings as well as, he's been right on top of these many projects, so thank you so much. Happy to have you here. That 10-year contract, you haven't signed that yet, though. All right, code enforcement report, did everyone get that? It's on the table or it was emailed out? Yes,
Both.
great. Can we do the ACO report?
There is none.
So there's no animal control report, which we've requested on numerous occasions, unfortunately. All right, planning board report, which Peggy just gave us. Wow, your secretary's on board.
Here's
Well,
the
I
minutes of
did
their
discuss
meeting.
this mostly all of the meetings last night. First of all, in terms of the regular planning board.
Can you stand, because there are people in the room that are worried they won't be able to hear.
stand over here?
Thank you, Peggy.
In terms of our usual business, we had one application for the shoreline zone, but we're not doing anything until we can do a site visit once the snow is off the ground. And the planning board has been working on a process to try to get the documents that we have in that closet, which is a lot of shoreline zone applications and minutes, into a digital form. They have been in digital form since 2022, and we've been working with various ideas on how to come up with a way to get it on the town's website and access to everybody that way. And also, Leanne, we would like to do the permits to be accessible. We had tried the scanning project, but we didn't get the grant for that. So further research, we've come up with the concept of having the town purchase an account for Google Workspace. And that would cost for one membership, like $169 a year. And so the planning board is requesting that the select board have their IT specialist answer the question, would that be a safe option for the town? And do they see any hindrances to that? And if not, put it into the budget for next year and move forward in that direction. And if we don't have the money to do it until next year's budget, 2 people in the planning board are willing to privately sponsor it.
Terrific, great work.
So that's that one thing. The other thing is about the comprehensive plan. We're just again affirming that the planning board ordinance says they shall prepare a comprehensive plan, and that shall generally infer as an ongoing duty. And if the planning board is usually the section of the town that deals with land use planning, and that's what's in the state statutes. And I associated this with some looking research, what all the different AI say about it. And if the select board does not think that oversight of the comprehensive plan should be a duty of the planning board, we would like you to vote on that so that we know and have it legally written down that we're not responsible for it. And we were also going to consult with MMA about this. Okay?
Thank you very much. Thank you for taking time on Sunday to review your stuff too. Yes, Leanne?
So Jaylene spent like 3 or 4 full days just working on your emails, requests, and that's it, website. She wants to know what the final, what do you want in the end? Because if it's just to get the paperwork, digital form, we can do that easily.
What part? Okay. This is why I was trying to work on it so much so it wouldn't take time to be doing it. And that's why I came and talked to her last week, and I sent the email about she asked me a lot of questions last week that kind of pushed me back because the Weebly website cannot accommodate the amount of data that is in our applications. And I was just brainstorming, and I had read someplace that towns are more likely to use the Google Workspace because it's more appropriate for municipalities. And then I read that the state of Wyoming, the city of Los Angeles, and other big places use it because it is considered safe and adequate for these kinds of groups to be using it as a mechanism. And it's so simple. You can just put a link on your webpage and it'll go right to the Google Drive, and you can put all your things right in there in order by map and lot and that kind of thing. And set permissions for the individual town committees to only have access to their little part of the site. So it's secure that way. And I'm so sorry that this is not my field, and I've just been trying to figure out for 2 years how to make it work.
But it's not just to get the paperwork in digital form.
No,
It's
no,
more
it's-
than that. Because we've already spent $150 or more on upgrading our website so you could have a page. Now you want to spend more money
Well, now we'll be able to put all of your stuff, all access together. I mean, I'm just saying.
I don't need mine on the website. I don't need our stuff on the website. We
No,
can,
I mean, when you do the scanning.
yeah, we could do that, right, to many different forms, memory drive.
Okay, all right, well,
She just wants to know what your
Is that-
final,
Is that freedom of access, is everything in that permit file freedom of access information?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is.
but
just-
I'm not gonna display everybody's phone number and address on the website.
So you can set limits on that too, like who can see what, they can see the names of the files and then have to ask you for the file.
But I'm just saying, you've already taken up a ton of her time. She only works 1 day a week. She's not doing much town stuff. And to get everything on that website page is gonna take weeks.
Well, that's why I've already cut it down extremely so that if we link it to the Google Drive, she won't have to put it in because I'm currently doing all that organization.
She still has to create
Pardon?
links on the website for each. She told me to ask what your final outcome,
Well, I have made a much smaller outline for her, and I just haven't sent it to her because I've been working on many, many hours on this in the last week.
She has too. And she's not doing the regular office work.
I thought I sent an email to say to halt until we get this organized.
And has the planning board voted on this?
Yes,
They did? Okay, because I looked through the minutes, I didn't see it.
I did do a couple of searches on the Google Workspace and comes highly recommended, it's easy to use. We could link stuff through there and document it by, like you said, lot and map and.
I'm trying to remember what Jaylene said. She said, once you pay the monthly fee, $7 per person per month, you have to continue forever. You can't
Right,
just,
once you buy the.
yeah.
Right,
but you can always download the data and keep your data. There's no,
Why can't we just do that?
what? Well, I mean, my small one, I did down to the zip drive, but that's the methodology that's possible, and you can transfer it to another site if you want to. I think I wrote down the ways you can transfer the whole Google site. I mean, but I'm not an expert in this, and this is what the people talked about last night in the planning board, that we should get your IT person as an opinion on this.
And he gets paid too. Cost
but
involved
once
in
it's
all of this.
done, we'll only have to load up the new stuff. Correct, once we get this stuff done, and then we can determine which files we need to put in the cabinet, which ones Leanne is gonna keep over in the main office.
I already have
And
mine.
plus, when you move into the comprehensive plan, you can have places where people can share and edit the documents as we're trying to write this big thing. Online.
I know everyone's trying to get this great information accessible, and, I mean, I know there are things I'd love to look up.
There's only 5 planning board members. I mean, I have it in the office. If you want anything, come to the office. I have it. It just seems like a lot of work for 5 planning board members.
Well, why don't we table this topic, and I think we need a meeting on it, where we get everybody together. Get Jaylene and your IT guy, and see if it's even feasible, and talk about the Google Workspace, and get everyone in one room. I think we can get some better recommendations. What do you think about that?
That's a great idea, until now I always have Jaylene's email address. I didn't have any way to really communicate with her other than showing up on the day that I work here in the town office.
Yeah,
But what?
that's another thing. You're using her work email. She has a town one.
Yeah, but last week I learned a lot, like I didn't know, there was things I didn't know, so.
All right, so we'll get some dates together, and we'll set up not a long meeting with the IT guy too, and see if we can get this meeting clocked down to an hour. Okay? All right, thank you very much. All right, ordinance committee. Is Daryl here?
Yep.
Ordinance committee.
Well,
Oh, you sent a report.
yes, you have the revised building permits ordinance that is set up pretty much as it was last annual meeting, with the exception that it removes the zoning with the idea that, there will be a, item on the warrant that will seek to review our existing, comprehensive plan to remove existing zones that seem inappropriate for what the town is likely to seek to move towards in the future.
Terrific. Well, there's a lot of documentation, great notes, and I think this is a good short-term solution while we start rebuilding our comp plan. Thank you. And all the members.
There was a junkyard ordinance that was volleyed around that
Oh,
needs a
good.
little bit of review, and I'd like to make a motion to have them just look it over and see if how that compares to our current. Everything needs to be modified, so just look at it.
Scott sent it.
What is it? I didn't hear you.
It's the junkyard ordinance.
So
Do you have a
Scott,
junkyard ordinance?
Scott sent in preliminary, like a draft of what he would like to see, and sent it over to the ordinance committee or wherever he sent it. So,
Do you want to add that to their list?
Just to review, not to do anything with it and see if it's worth doing anything with, so.
So you motion to add the junkyard ordinance to
You got it.
the review list?
yeah, I'll second that. All in favor?
Just to review, check it out,
Just review it, okay?
see what we want to do with it. They can kick it back.
Right. I want to make sure I make a big deal of this because it's very exciting, even though there isn't any news. The fire warden submitted a report, which is really great, what we've been asking for a long time. There were no permits written by hand or phone requests for information. So, but it's just nice, we're paying this man to be the fire warden, just nice to know what's going on. If we have information or there are 17 fire permits, I just think it'd be nice to know. There'll be activity. I know we can apply for a permit online, but not everybody wants to do that. So that's why we have a fire warden. Thank you, Baxter. All right, solid waste didn't meet, correct? Cemetery committee didn't meet.
Or you're
What's
skipping?
that?
You're
Did you meet between meetings?
26th.
Awesome.
We had a brief meeting as we only had quorum for about 20 minutes. We talked about what's next.
Excellent.
You skipped some items.
Oh, yeah, that's important. And the treasurer's report, please.
Oops, that's a big one.
I don't have the sweep account, so I don't have the bank reconciliations yet, but there's a couple of things that sort of fall under treasurer because it concerns money. The garage is leaking around the chimney onto the furnace, so we need someone to look at that.
Did the maintenance guy find
Can you
that?
speak up? We can't hear back here. There's some chitter chatter going on that's distracting.
Did the maintenance guy see that there was a leak back there?
Yeah.
Way to go.
But we probably need to hire someone to fix the flashing around the chimney.
Yep.
And it's been suggested, and for now, instead of redoing this town hall floor, which will be ruined,
Shortly thereafter.
right, to maybe cover it, purchase it with laminate. It wouldn't hurt the wood, and it would hold up with traffic. It would cost between $1,900 and $2,800, depending on what material.
So.
But the redoing the floor is like
thinking The
$7,000,
redoing the floor was $7,000.
somewhere
So
around.
if we were to get a high quality laminate, is that high quality? So that it will last?
Well, depending, 19 to 2,800.
Yeah.
Depending on what you choose, that's with labor.
Yeah, I think that's a great price.
I love the wood floor, but they're right, it's gonna look
Yeah.
like crap within a few months, probably, I don't know.
Right, it's not waterproof and it's been washed and look, it already looks so
If you wanna think of,
tired.
we would have to,
Well, nobody's put a coating of urethane on it for a long time.
that didn't work so well.
Used to be done on a regular basis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what's flaking up everywhere. But you can discuss it during budget time if you want,
Yep,
because we don't have the money really right now.
that's a great idea.
When,
Plus, right now it's hard because,
everything modern, like,
winter was wet and crap.
might as well just get with the wind.
Is there anything else?
That's
So
all I
Leanne
have.
said that she doesn't have, her sweep account information yet, 'cause it's only March 4th. That will come in like mid-month, right?
Probably next week.
Next week, yeah. So we don't have that yet. Richard,
You all done discussing the town hall floor? Are you all done, see, you can't hear me either. Are you all done discussing the town hall floor?
yes, we're just talking about budget. We're gonna bring it up during budget time.
What
to
you
see
gonna
if
do,
we can-
put land in over?
We're not sure yet. We're gonna discuss it.
Well,
We'll talk to you because you were our
you know,
maintenance director
are you
before.
familiar with how I used to do the floor when I was doing it? I used polyurethane, and when I first started doing it, I used it straight out of the bucket. And that was after I washed, I broomed and washed the floor. And then I put a coat of polyurethane down.
Yeah.
Then after that, about every month or two, when the calendar allowed it, because it took a day or two to dry,
Right,
I would take a mixture of polyurethane and paint thinner and go over it again. And the purpose of that was that I was told when I first took over that these floors had been ground down so far that they could never be ground down again. They were too thin. And so what the polyurethane was doing was putting a coating on the floor that the chair legs and the table legs and all of that took off the polyurethane, but they didn't get down into the floor. And they made it, I think Leanne will testify that the floors were pretty darn good back in and they were shiny. And I did that for the years that I was here, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years. And that worked well, but it wasn't cheap. Polyurethane is not cheap, and paint thinner is not cheap. But it only took a month every month, month and a half to redo them. And that worked well. Now, that might be as costly as putting laminate down. I don't know nothing about laminate. But, I'm just wanted to bring you up to speed on how the floors used to be done and how they were protected by polyurethane.
Peggy,
This building is listed as a historical building in the 2 comprehensive plans, and it's now over 100 years old, so you might want to look into anything about preserving it, and certainly putting laminate down will not keep it in its character that it has now. But I understand there's always cost considerations.
The solar panels on the roof kind of kill it too, for the whole historical motif. No.
good input. Great. All right, so Recreation Committee, anyone here? I know they haven't met, but, okay. Calendar reminders, we have a road committee meeting on Wednesday, tomorrow night at 6:30. The public hearing for the special town meeting is Thursday night at 6:30. The special town meeting is on Monday at 6:30 on the 10th. 2022 tax liens automatically foreclose on March 12th. And the ordinance committee has a meeting on 3/12 at 6 p.m. All right. Unfinished business, fund balance policy.
So I updated it to the 25%.
Thank you.
Were there any other changes?
No, I
You
thought
got
it
a
looked good.
typo,
I do, okay. Figured.
Do you have changes?
just a typo. Coast.
All right, it's on the first page. I can change it. You can still sign it.
I just want to go back to calendar reminders that the Masonic Lodge out of Buckfield is going to be doing a fundraiser here for the Stevens family on the 15th. Is that correct, 15th?
Yep.
On the 15th. It's a short, quick hour-and-a-half fundraiser dinner. And of course, they're looking for our support. So I hope you guys we all can help or or eat or bring good stuff. And I think that flyer, I don't think we have any back here, but there are some in the town office for the fundraiser. Okay. Bulky waste collection
But
rule.
Are you, did you want to wait on this till I correct that
She
typo?
only has a typo. Let's go. Right, you gotta fix the typo.
Yeah.
We're all good.
Did you make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the fund balance policy with the changes from the previous meeting. And as long as Leanne fixed that little typo, we're all good. I need a second. All in favor? The coast, I like that. I want to go to the coast. There we go. All right, next on the agenda is bulky waste collection rules and regulations policy, properties with no homes. And you were just amending that from last week.
Yep, I added it and included where they can bring items. Auburn or Mexico.
Excellent.
There's one thing I think that needs clarification on number 1. It says that refrigerators and freezers must have their doors removed before they may be picked up. Where's Lenny?
Lenny?
Yeah.
Is this worded well enough? Refrigerators and freezers must have their doors removed before they may be picked up. So what about getting them out, taking the doors off before they make it to the curb?
Yeah, sure.
How do we want to amend that a little bit? Tweak the,
It's easier to get them out of the house without the door.
Definitely.
That's what we did, right, Russ?
Just bad.
just tweak it. Maybe tweak that a little bit.
You guys think tires up the truck too? I mean, that's good. Obviously.
It has something to do with children getting trapped in.
I know what the reason is, but why are we clarifying that? That says take the doors off the refrigerator.
Well,
From the guy saying before it comes to the curb, that's like telling someone to take tires off the truck. I mean, come on, I mean, jeez.
It's about safety.
Crystal clear, because.
It's about safety
So before placing at curbside.
before they get out, yeah. Before they go to.
Leftover from back in the days when kids used to play outside.
It's still good.
Do you want to give her that copy so she's got it?
Let's read you.
Does it have the signatures and everything?
You want to sign it?
You want to wait till next week?
No, let's just do it.
That, I'm on the solid waste committee, and it was me that actually recommended that being changed, not anyone up there on the select board. So if you've got an issue with that, then bring it up over here. I'm on the solid waste
Hey, hey,
committee and thought it needed to be
Hey!
changed.
Hey,
Stop.
Meeting on a committee with you.
Then shut him up.
I can't talk.
Okay.
I have a question.
yes, Aaron.
So just out of curiosity, if you don't take the doors off, I understand the reason for it. I totally get the reason, I understand the reason. But what are you gonna do if they don't take the doors off?
They're not gonna take the refrigerator.
So, okay, it's nothing about safety.
Right.
Maybe that's what you're,
When you said it was about safety.
if the doors are not on.
You're making the rules no for nothing.
Who's making the rules?
Yeah, we just heard it.
No, it was a recommendation by the solid waste.
By the solid waste committee,
That
correct.
hold on, we are advisory to the select board, and we are very specific because if we're not, things don't get done right.
That's probably what we ought to add in here,
I get that.
is if the doors are not off the refrigerator,
Will not be.
they will not be picked up.
So it says.
It says that.
It does?
It says that it won't be picked up if the doors haven't been taken off when it gets to the side road. All we're simply asking is that, all we're simply asking is that the doors get taken off before it gets to the side of the road.
For safety.
That's it.
Actually, I think the law says either the door's off or secured, closed.
Exactly.
This is just from the flyer. I wanted to have it as a policy so we can enforce it.
There are magnetic laws that you can get.
But it's up to you.
Yep.
Make a motion to sign it with the amendment.
I'd like to second that motion to
Oh.
sign.
I didn't hear.
Said I make a motion to go ahead and sign
You're
The
approving
policy.
it
With that change on
The
the
amended.
refrigerator door.
before placing it curbside.
Excuse me, and the tire policy is already amended, right? For both you guys.
We just pass that cost through.
Okay, so Sue, you seconded?
I did. Yeah, all in favor?
I'll sign
Better
it.
just write it down.
I'll trade with you.
Oh, you signed that one?
Yeah, we signed this one.
Okay. Well, give me that back. Oh, okay. Yep, you can have it.
I'm gonna trade with you.
You're confusing me.
We're
Thanks.
trying to be efficient. And just so everyone at home knows, bulky waste is what date, Lenny?
19th.
June 19th. And is there a place people can bring things that are useful?
Well, yeah, we have, Buy Nothing Day, drop off is the 30th of May from 4 to 7 right here or by arrangement. Saturday, the 31st, come and shop. And Sunday the 1st, we clean up, so if anybody is fond of cleaning up.
Excellent.
I wanted to see what's left over.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. All right, next we have the job description update for the constable, which will also go in the administrative ordinance. And I don't know if you guys had a chance to look at that.
You want all of this in the administrative ordinance?
Well, just a job, I don't think we want the whole job description in there, just
What's the
whatever.
town office?
There's one little thing.
That's what I'm thinking.
You're the one who
I
brought
mean-
it up, so you said you want to add that in town.
Yeah, but I didn't know it was gonna be all of that, because you have ordinance things in here.
We don't have to put it in, we can just say, refer to the current job description in the,
Okay.
in the ordinance.
That gives me
That way we don't have to have it.
flexibility around job descriptions rather than putting it in ordinance.
Right, 'cause you put it in ordinance, we want to make a change that he can't wear brown shoes, we have to bring it to the town.
So was that the ordinance?
Yeah, that's what I had written up, and then Sue sent this today, I think, yeah.
Did you both get a chance to look at it?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. So I'd like to make a motion to reset the constable job description. All in favor? Yeah, it's 2 pages, Leanne, right?
Yeah. Compensation is up to you, not,
What's that?
compensation is up to the 3 selectmen, not the budget, just by the way.
I just meant it was more of whatever we put in the budgets, we could move it around.
Looks good.
Okay. Emergency operations plan updates. I know you found a couple of typos in there.
Yep.
Kathy, Leanne.
I don't think I copied the whole thing again because I just gave it to you at the last meeting. It's a lot of,
Pages.
Yeah, it was just a couple of little doodads for like.
yeah, it was some contact information on one page. That's the only thing I saw.
I thought it looked good. I don't see why we need to change it besides just update those.
Yeah, that's all I did is,
So I make a motion to accept the emergency plan with those amendments that updates with new contact information.
That's a good.
All right, all in favor? Great.
so I just need some signatures.
Is that accessible to the public somewhere?
On the
It
website,
will be once we get the newest version out there.
they're in both buildings and on the website. So there's a couple pages, chairman, and then everyone on that one. I think that's the only page of this one.
Pages on. Leave it.
Is it just those two spots?
I think so. I'll skim through it before the meeting's
Two and one, and then that one's only got one?
Pretty sure.
Yeah. Do you have to send that to the, copy of it or anything to the insurance guys that we? I don't know
Yeah,
if
yes,
it's-
yes, I do. It's updated, yes.
Because we, in process. Thank you
I'll
very
make a
much.
note.
Speaking of that, when we met with our Maine Municipal Liability Comp folks, there are a couple of things we still need to get done. One was we need to update the emergency plan, so they get a copy of that. One of the outline things was an old emergency light that made this buzzing sound that went down into the basement, and it's hardwired, so and battery backup, so it comes on if we lose our power or whatever. So, but thank you, Leanne, for coordinating the electrician.
Yeah.
So it's all installed, everybody is as safe as they're gonna be, and John, were you here when he installed it?
No, it wasn't.
No,
I tried to get him here.
that's all right.
And he also fixed the open sign on the town office for free. Yay.
Wow.
My $6 Goodwill.
Nice, nice.
Did you say anything about the lights on the front?
I didn't ask him about that. You would have to approve that before we do anything.
But we do own them, right? We have lights for the front already?
I thought we purchased them. Have you seen any lights in the garage hanging around?
No.
No?
I thought we purchased them too.
Me too.
You looked at the basement?
Did you see any lights in the basement? I thought he put everything in the garage. I'll double check. I'll go back because I know the town office, a bunch of them, and I know there were leftovers. I thought they
Right.
were for outside.
They were for the, so that you couldn't have light when you got out of work. Okay. New business, comprehensive plan review committee status. So the comprehensive plan, you want to take all yours? Comprehensive plan review committee status.
Oh,
You want to talk about the meeting?
yeah, well, Daryl, started it on that topic that we feel that we should go ahead and dissolve the 2008 plan, and start fresh with a new plan just because of zoning terminology, wording, language, however you want to call it, and, appoint an ad hoc committee, for that. So, it was unanimous. We all liked the idea, and it was to be presented before the select board. And then up for town meeting, so we would have to put that on the warrant.
Do we need a motion for that, Leanne, to dissolve the committee?
You need a warrant article to rescind the ordinance for that committee and the comprehensive plan if you want.
Well, my understanding is the 2008 plan would get voted on, the town people would vote to keep it or
Yep.
allow it to be rescinded.
But the comprehensive plan review committee ordinance would also have to go to town meeting if you want to
Is that
rescind
what-
it.
Is that what that, the way this is in our packet?
Right. I mean, you don't have to rescind it, but it has to go to town meeting if you do want to get rid of it.
I think that's what we voted
And
on
That's what
unanimously.
we did, so sort of. Yes, Peggy?
Better, what we were discussing was to dissolve the current committee in terms of its membership, so it's not functioning. If we still keep the ordinance, that could go on after we have our next comprehensive plan. And then to come up with a committee that is tasked with revising a comprehensive plan for Hartford with the understanding that the current one is enforceable, but it would be safer for the town in terms of land use to not recognize those growth zones, and therefore we should attempt to repeal the current plan at town meeting, because that way it will absolve us of the legal responsibility. So it's a different viewpoint and steps of dealing with it.
So do we need to make a motion here at all to dissolve the current committee? Do we need to do that? Because we appointed
You
them.
can't.
Oh, Daryl, the voice.
Yeah, well, my view from our discussion is that what you guys need to do is create an item on the warrant that would seek to repeal the 2008 comprehensive plan. That would mean that the growth zones that are in that plan will no longer be in effect. So that would be the first thing you need to do. Then the second issue has to do with the committee that was established to revise the 2008 plan was called the Comprehensive
Review.
Plan Review Committee, which that committee was established after the comprehensive plan was developed in 2008 to essentially review the implementation of progress of that plan. You don't need to dissolve that ordinance or ultimately that committee unless you want to change that, because that committee would subsequently be the committee that essentially reviewed progress on implementing the new comprehensive plan.
Okay,
So I don't think you need to have anything abolishing that committee, but the committee that was established to work on this revising of the plan is really not the comprehensive plan review committee. Now, Peggy has proposed in her planning board report that it be the planning board that is the sole or primary body responsible for developing the new comprehensive plan. I would argue that having the planning board be the primary group responsible for it ends up being a very narrow group of people, a very narrow group of representative views. And I think that is contrary to what the town really wants or should want. And certainly it's potentially contrary to the main point of state statute. The revised state statute on comprehensive planning is very different than it was in 2008. And it starts out by saying the most important component of developing a comprehensive plan is in fact to have a broad input into developing that. So I think it would be a mistake to have the planning board be the primary group who essentially develops the plan that then the town considers. I also think the language in the planning board ordinance that says the planning board shall prepare a comprehensive plan. Well, in fact, the US Supreme Court in the 1990s decided the term shall is an ambiguous term and often is used to say may. So one could interpret this legally under the Supreme Court's guidance that all that's saying is the planning board may, not must, but may. It's also the language of shall be, meaning may, would be consistent with current state statute, which says the select board may develop a planning committee of their choosing, or it may choose to have the select board develop the comprehensive plan, not it must. So quite honestly, I think having this interpreted as may in our ordinance is consistent with state statute. From my perspective, I don't see, the comprehensive plan is a whole lot more than land use. So
I just want to interrupt you. Did you say I said it would constitute the committee with the same membership? This is only to steward it over the numerous years. That's all I was thinking of.
right,
Because-
but you're suggesting you were actually suggesting constituting that group that currently exists as a subset under the planning board. Quite honestly, it seems to me there's no need for being a subset under the planning board.
No, I'm
The
just saying,
select board can choose to have all of the planning board be part of that committee if you think their expertise is important enough to have. But what's important is that that committee is broad and represents multiple views on what development should be. And it's as much about the economics of the town as it is about land use. So I think it's absolutely critical that whatever the constitution of that committee is, that it be more than just quote experts in
Land use.
land use. And in fact, I would argue historically, traditionally, the planning board implements what the town has established. It doesn't necessarily establish what the town should do, it implements. So, I guess I clearly have a very different view of what comprehensive planning should be about and how it should be pursued.
I was purely thinking,
Okay, sorry. No, I don't think you understood what you said.
yeah, no, I wasn't saying that we were gonna do anything particular, other than that, since we were involved with land use, to like supervise that we're getting the stuff done on a regular basis, because that's just, I don't know, that's a duty that all the 3 members of the select board are now on that board. Do you want, and 2 of you are the officers, I mean, that's just another load of work, I mean, and that's why I perceived it came under the planning board, and I wasn't trying to say we're gonna do any specific plan, just the fact that since 92, they've recommended zoning and having a site plan review ordinance, and so maybe we just need the planning board will be the one to push to make sure those kinds of things get accomplished. So that's all I meant. And if you don't want the planning board, I want you to make a vote, because that's what we asked for. That's what I asked in my.
In your, yep. So, I know there's much more discussion. I know we all agree that more people on the committee, especially from diverse backgrounds, is what we want. So, but tonight, we're not gonna get into that. It's, not so much on, a voting thing, and not everyone's had a chance to read Peggy's stuff. So, Daryl, great input, but we will need to bring this back up and have a chance to read everybody's things and decide how we're gonna move forward. Besides, the committee had recommended an ad hoc committee so that we could keep moving forward with revising and moving for a new comprehensive plan.
So we're gonna leave it that the current membership is going to meet at the date that was specified, and we'll continue our work regardless of what we're gonna be called.
Yes,
That was the plan.
Okay.
all right. Do I need a motion for that, Leah? Good, excellent. Cool beans.
Well, it kind of matters a little bit because if it's going to be an ad hoc committee by the administrative ordinance, I can't be on it because I'm not a resident. But if it's going to stay the same, I can because it has its own ordinance.
How do you like that, Leah?
I think it's great. Do the ad hoc.
Daryl, I'm looking for some insight here.
No,
Leanne said she can't be on it if it's an ad hoc.
So keep it under the planning board, that's just a structure.
That's okay.
I mean, it's not that, I had no particular land use ideas.
Lenny, can I just get,
in mind?
and then I'll have you next.
Just to be clear, the planning board isn't lusting after doing.
No,
We're just trying to operate.
They're not lusting after taking on all that extra work. Yes, Daryl?
I guess I would seek legal advice on whether you have the authority to bring in outside people to be on that committee.
Especially one with such history.
it says right in the administrative ordinance, all committee members must be residents of this town.
What committee ordinance, what,
Administrative part 2.
all committee members?
But the comprehensive plan review committee doesn't say that. It says the town clerk,
Right, is it standing committees or?
all committees.
Yeah, but that's just I think you come under the subcommittee of the planning board, it's under our bylaws, I think we can formulate whatever, but I'll check that in. I'm writing to Susan Philbrook about this stuff.
But I guess by that nature, then you couldn't have been on the committee that existed. It was a committee.
It's a separate ordinance. The comprehensive plan review committee is a separate ordinance. It says the town clerk must be a member.
Okay. I didn't pay attention to that. Right.
When legal, it's hard, huh?
So that's tabled. So I'll put in for now to
rescind the 2000.
repeal.
Yes, Daryl?
Suggest it's not too late, presumably, the ordinance, even though it's at the lawyers, to actually revise that will allow the town clerk
Yeah,
to be on committee.
absolutely.
That's okay. It's really okay.
You can make that change.
Plenty of time. Yeah. Yes, Richard?
I think we comprehensively exhausted this subject.
All right. We are ready to move forward. Okay. Building permit ordinance amendments.
So Daryl prepared. He took what Peggy had brought to town meeting last year and took out the zoning. I didn't read through it, but took out the zoning information.
Yes, Daryl.
Yeah, what's in the ordinance is language from Peggy. My understanding is that language actually was developed by AvCog. So it is, the bits that were removed were the bits that referred to growth management zones, which was a fairly small portion of that ordinance, but it was an important part of the ordinance that was the basic reason why I recommended against passing it last year.
Yeah.
So this would be exactly the same wording without any of the language with respect to growth zones.
Thank you for making all those changes too and having it ready for your meeting. Awesome.
And just to remind you that what I had worked on last year did pass the town attorney. So if you probably, did you submit all your ordinances to the town attorney? Okay, well, just wanted to let you know that had been.
Great. When he sees it again, he'll love it.
So do you want me to send this to the town attorney and AvCog for review? Because they said, is it AvCog or no? Hillary is from, I think she's from the state of Maine, but she offered to go over it before we,
I want to make sure all the changes are in there before you send the next thing to the attorney.
are all the changes in the building permit ordinance now?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Is this ready to be approved? I mean,
Yes, it should be ready. You might, I assume the town attorney is a different attorney from the one that reviewed it last year, or is it the same?
I'm hoping it's the same one.
Well, you might just point out that
They already.
literally everything in there had been reviewed by the attorney before, so in theory, there shouldn't be any big surprises. So.
But after, I don't think you should send anything till after Monday next week, because if there's any change to the new position or old position, we will have to amend the administrative ordinance.
Position. This is building lots.
Yes, I understand that. I said if there's any other changes to the administrative two ordinance before we,
I've already sent that to him.
oh, I know. But there's other things I think we were talking about in the administrative ordinance, like adding the language for the constable and because you
So
have
how do
job
you-
descriptions in
How do
there.
you relay the amendments, the tweaks to the administrative ordinance too, if he already has it? You just call them, email them? What do you-
Email,
Okay.
the final
Okay.
copy.
So I think that's what you're asking, right?
Right, because
So don't
well,
send
now
this.
I'm gonna write, we wanted to put something in there about the constable. I just don't want to send it, then have to send it again.
I thought you decided not to do the
Right,
cost.
but we're gonna need some language in there if you're gonna put constable in there. It was your idea to put the constable in
I
there.
know, but I thought
right?
you just decided not to, just have it as a job description.
Right, but do we need to put constable with,
You don't,
please see the job description for further detail, or
that's up to you.
we do that with other positions, don't we?
Well, the fire warden's not in there and there are some that aren't, but it's up to you. You need to tell me what to put in there and vote on it.
Right. Well, let me look at what positions are in there. I know I've seen them, but I can't just in my head go, these two are in and that one's out. I know that the assistant deputy treasurer's not in there, right? We don't have all that in there. The new, is Jamie's
She's my
position in there?
employee.
Yes, I know.
Is she in the
I
admin
understand
ordinance
that.
too, though?
I'm just wondering which ones are in there and which ones aren't in there. That's all. So can we bring this up at the next meeting, then we
Okay.
can get it ready to present to the attorney?
Okay,
Okay.
just there's time limits, that's all.
Yeah, I know. And they probably haven't even touched the one we sent. Right, you haven't heard from him with any questions?
Not yet.
No? And he's had it how many weeks? 3?
I would have to look.
Yeah. Okay. All right, MMA insurance updated building values. I
Are
saw
you,
that.
are you okay with those? Because the rate's gonna go up like $400 and something dollars
No,
a year.
right. Is anyone interested in hearing what they reevaluated all our buildings at?
Yes.
I thought they might be. I was surprised.
Absolutely.
Okay. Sorry, lots of paperwork. There it is.
If you don't agree, I'm not sure how to go about, would you have to have someone come out and assess
Right.
the
We
values?
have
I'm
to
not
pay someone
sure.
to do an appraiser.
Well, we do have an assessor.
Yeah, which they would need to be paid, that's all Leanne's trying to state. All right, so the old schoolhouse, building value is 16,533. Contents are evaluating at 5,000. So so the total value is 21,533. The sand and salt shed is evaluated at $848,000 and 848,980. And the town garage down below is evaluated at 113,000, with contents of 2,000. Did we tell them it leaked so that maybe they'd knock that down a little? No? Okay. All right, town hall, the building we're in, right? Yeah, 69,000. Contents at 15,000, so it comes together at 584,859. And then the town office evaluated at, I'm blown away by this, 211,245. Contents of of 24. It's like a bomb shelter over there. It's not fancy. Contents at 24,000. So the total that they're evaluating at is 235,245. And I'm assuming we have $1,000 deductible. I'm assuming it's replacement coverage, which is
Yeah.
one of the reasons why it's so high.
I have to respond by March 28th.
Right. And then the back page. They evaluated the grader at $30,000, ouchers, with a deductible of 1,000. Yep. Now, it also says electronic data processing. What is that?
Computers.
Oh, the computers, I thought that was in the other one, so he's putting that
Who's
separate.
the one who plays these valuations that's in
What's
That's
that?
our insurance, plays these post valuations?
Yeah, MMA, risk management. Property and casualty pool.
I just want to make a comment. If this building is worth over $500,000, you probably don't want to spend $2,000 on doing the floor. You might value the building will work for the town. That's all.
All right, I move we accept the new values. Do you have a second there, girl?
Yes.
All right, all in favor? Okay. Good. Now we don't have to worry about not accepting it. All right, budget workshop, selectmen recommendations.
So I'm not quite done getting my requested amounts and my guesses.
Right,
Do you want to set up a day for an hour?
I do.
Because I need all you guys to fill in your recommended amounts. I didn't bring my date book.
So you want like a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday that we're nearby, that you're already here, would be good, right? Okay. Do we want to do before the select board meeting on the 18th? Or, because we don't have anything before that, right? There's no executive team or anything like that. We could meet right at 5 to 6, or we could do it on Monday the 17th or Wednesday the 19th. Do you have stuff on Monday?
The 10th I do. So the 17th or the 19th works for me,
Or the 18th, which,
or the 18th.
what would you like, Leanne?
Doesn't matter to me. I didn't bring my calendar, so I don't know what's going on.
So Monday's the 17th, Tuesday's the 18th, which is a select board meeting. And then Wednesday's the 19th. I just hate to tie up another evening of yours.
I'm
So
fine,
I
but
know you are fine, but you work a lot. So we could do it before the select board meeting, or we could do it Monday after the office closes. 17th.
It's up to you three.
Don't matter to me. The 17th then.
Okay, let's do it Monday, the 17th at 6 o'clock, 5:30. Monday's really hard.
I'm gonna do 6 then.
What time?
6 o'clock? 6, is that okay?
We'll have our time limit. We'll cruise right through.
Sounds good.
I'll send it to you as soon as I'm done so you can review it.
Okay.
Email. We'll call it a Selectmen's Workshop.
Sure.
Budget workshop. All right, freedom of access rules, which are in our packet.
Yep, the new ones. This is old, but it's correspondence from an attorney years ago about emails and whatnot. And I also got a call from the Attorney General's office because we received a request for information in October and it still hasn't been filled. And right now I do have part of it
You still waiting?
on one person. And the lady at the Attorney General, you're supposed to estimate a cost, which I didn't know there was gonna be a cost because I didn't know how much time it was gonna take to get paperwork together. Attorney General's office, so I sent an email with estimating what it might cost per hour. Attorney General's office called, said I had the information wrong. It's actually more per hour. But you have to be reasonable. She recommended any correspondence be on a town server. So I'm automatically have a copy so I can produce the information. She was supposed to send me an email, but she never did.
So there was no deadline when we first got that. Is there a deadline?
There
when
has
somebody
to be
makes
a
request?
reasonable amount, not 5 months, 4 months.
I don't know.
But we haven't
Never
heard
had it
anything
happen,
about it
so.
either.
Oh, I've been waiting. I've reminded you a couple of times. But I'm going to recommend that we don't charge her anything because it has been so long. I know it took you a long time to get it together, and I'm not going to be involved in any texts, email, phone call only, because this happens again. It does take time to copy
It
everything.
takes a long time, right?
So, anyway, I'm going to give her what I have, and I don't plan on charging her. And we need to review all the rules and abide by them, and
It's been 5 months, but it took hours to get that together. And if you guys would charge, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Hours to put that together.
but if the town office was included in all the correspondence already, I would have it and I could instantly give it to her.
It wasn't a usual request. In some documents, you have to research and you have to pull up. Not everything's that quick. It took a long time.
So like when you request, is someone around for payroll, you're gonna now email that, or you're gonna text it?
What is it? I'm not gonna text anything. I'm gonna call or email.
So, but, I'm on the road, I won't, well, if I'm on the road far away, I won't be able to sign payroll anyway. I just wanna be.
I usually just call Kathy because she's right there.
So do we need to,
I'm just
you
letting
say
you.
these are old rules? Do we need
No,
to-
that's correspondence from an attorney years ago that I
What,
got.
you just told us that these are old.
The new
That's
Freedom
not
of Access
correspondence.
packets, I think I included. I need updated signatures because some of the laws have changed
Okay.
as the fees and.
Okay. So I'll read that and get it back to you at the next meeting, is that all right?
Yep.
think I did this already. Didn't I sign this the other day?
Yeah, I think you did.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Great.
Are we good to go for Thursday? Do we need to? Do we have to have anything in order? Set anything? Are we good to go for Thursday and Monday?
I'm working on Monday, scheduling ballot clerks, getting ballots ready, all I need to do.
Is there anything we need to do to be ready for that?
I asked Jaylene what questions are gonna be asked, and she gave me a few ideas, because if somebody asks me something, I need to know the answers. I don't know.
Do we need to?
Person,
Well, security was an issue. That was something that came up.
Which I've requested, the sheriff's department, she said it wouldn't be a problem, they have not gotten back to me from my yesterday. She made me email it to her.
I'm a little confused because in the original request, she had just kind of thrown out there in an email to see if we could get some security. And you said we can't make that kind of decision outside of a meeting, and it was an inquiry, not a decision.
No, it was more about, if the sheriff's department couldn't supply someone that was on duty, would we move forward to pay for someone who's off duty?
Yeah, and you
And
can't,
Leanne said, we can't make that decision to pay them outside of the meeting.
Okay.
So is that something we can announce, we can do right now, or?
it's not on the agenda.
But we're still in new business, so I can make a motion to put it on the agenda at the moment and make it, that we can do.
We don't know what it's gonna cost, but they haven't told me that they're not coming, but I'd rather have the backup to know that we've got someone no matter what.
How are we gonna pay for it?
Either through a special budget item, or I've also had people ask and offer to pay for it if we can't get coverage. They're not the best communicators, unfortunately. You call the sheriff's department, you send in a voicemail, you email them, you keep calling, they finally return your call. They say, put it in the email. I go, I already did.
who would you get if they could come?
It would be an off-duty officer. I agree with, we need to have someone here. Well, do we need to make a motion if private funds are paying for it? To allow them to come?
No.
Okay, then we don't need to do anything. Okay, appointments and resignations. This is for ballot clerks. What is this for? Is there anybody that we need to appoint or unappoint?
Ballot clerks. Yeah, there's 2 resignations that came in today. That one.
So we do have a resignation from our animal control officer, and she's submitting a resignation. She says, pleasure working for and with your community. Unfortunately, has come to a decision with a heavy heart. She's experiencing health issues, and She appreciates our time and wants to thank us for the opportunity of being our ACO. I would like to move to accept the ACO's resignation. Wendy Sue Basham,
Second.
all in favor? Yes, Leanne. Excuse me, Leslie.
I cannot recommend enough that you solicit the assistance of Brandon Holmes, who is animal control for, I think he has Sumner too, he has West Paris, several towns now. He is terrific.
So Brandon has Buckfield, Sumner, West Paris, and it's either Sweden or something like that.
Someplace.
It's someplace over there. I've already spoken with him yesterday and today. And so I told him we might be approaching him. So but I just needed to
You
get
might
some,
want to consider it, he's pretty great.
so.
Should we approach him to see if he'll fill in? Because we really need to have somebody.
I told him I would
Until-
contact him right after this meeting.
So do you want to vote to,
Well, he didn't agree to it. I have to give him what we're gonna pay him.
okay, so it'll be 2 weeks then before we have one.
Right, but, I mean, we can offer it to him but
What'd you say?
We should just talk to a neighboring town so we have coverage while we fill the position. Because if
absolutely,
something
yeah.
happens.
Well, I just saw this, but we had an inkling that she might be not returning, so that's why I contacted Brandon, but I didn't offer him anything because I didn't have this. I didn't know if it was coming or not, so. Yes,
As
Peggy?
part of that business, weren't you discussing before at another meeting that some of these places weren't inspected,
Yes,
so that's a duty that.
absolutely, yeah, and I've already discussed that with Brandon today. Yeah, there are things that has to get done. I just didn't know if we could just go ahead and offer him the position and I don't really know what we paid her besides what we paid before, what's left in the budget. So I wanted that because he asked me and I didn't know it off the top of my head. So it's like $159 something a month, right?
Plus mileage.
Plus mileage, which
Yeah.
is at 70 cents.
Yeah,
So-
but just in the past, we've had Robert Larrabee from Buckfield cover us until we make a decision, just so we have coverage. I know, but I said in the past.
So I'm happy to make a motion to see if Brandon will cover immediately at the current rate of pay while we get things in order, if he's willing.
Okay, I second.
All in favor? Same rate, same mileage rate, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can't actually pay him until he's an employee, but sometimes they help out other towns
Yeah.
temporarily.
Usually,
Okay, we received another resignation, and that was from Cindy McNeil, and she's resigning from the Budget Committee. I would like to make a motion to accept her resignation with regret. Okay, all in favor? Do we have anyone in here that's interested in being on Budget Committee?
I think so.
Is Dan La Rochelle already on budget? He is, right?
Yeah. Every Wednesday in April. Every Wednesday in April. Anybody interested?
too much stuff, but no.
Is Elise Harvey already on budget or no?
Yes.
Yeah, she filled someone else's, Mike McCarron, I think.
Brendan Burmeister? Just put Budget Committee.
No, but we were appointed.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Brenda Burmeister to the budget committee.
One second.
Been through all these people, these are the most recent, and nobody,
How long ago did she say she'd do that?
what's that?
How recent are those papers? Like how long ago?
Some
one
of
today.
them, March 4th.
Oh, good, good.
Oh, I thought Morrill said he wanted to be on planning board.
No.
So we have two. We've got one from Brenda Burmeister that we never accepted because we were full at the time. And we've got one from Morrill that came in today. Brenda's came in October.
You already made your motion and voted on it.
Oh, great. All in favor? We did, we voted.
I wrote it down.
All right. Cool. If anyone else drops off, we'll grab Morrill. You filling out that paperwork for us to sign?
Oh, I forgot. Brenda?
Yep, I'm gonna have the rest of them out. Excuse me.
I had one that I crossed out. If you guys appoint ballot clerks, where is he? He's not interested anymore. Her name changed.
What do you want me to do?
You have to appoint ballot clerks, so they're in effect for the special town meeting. They run out each February.
They no kidding.
It says 2-year term, but the state says every year.
Now, you had invited Sibylla and Leslie and Morrill and Kathleen. And that's who we need to appoint, or all of them.
I haven't heard from 2 of them, but I have two scheduled, two confirmed. And if we need them to count ballots, it's fine, they can do that.
Okay.
Great.
So we need they all expired.
Holy moly. Can we just reappoint all of them?
Except for the ones I crossed out who aren't interested anymore.
So,
Carol Perry's grayed out and Dana.
she's not interested anymore. Her name changed, she said.
Okay. And this is for
Ballot clerk.
ballot clerks. Richard Dyer. You want to still be a ballot clerk?
I was never a ballot clerk.
It
Yes,
says
you were.
right here you are.
Polly was.
You were, and you hated it.
No, I haven't done it for years.
So can we,
Wait a minute, now that's counting or what?
I don't,
Whatever I tell you to do.
I want that job.
Then I resign.
Well, I'm just going through the top of the list and you are number 1.
For what? For what? Counting the ballots?
Whatever I have you do, in which you don't like doing it, so you
What
said
are
you would never
talking
do
about
it again.
signing in people? For-
Wherever I need you.
Right,
I resign.
okay. Marguerite Dudley, so do you want us to reach out to these folks or do we just want to reappoint?
Reappoint, because we need them done before the special town meeting.
Oh, right. Well, I just asked Richard and he wasn't crossed off, so I was,
Oh, I didn't know.
awesome. Okay, so Marguerite Dudley, Natasha Cody, Arlene Nason, Polly Chase, Maureen Nason, Carol Perry isn't interested anymore, Stephanie Verbosi, thank you. Leslie Boness, Cassidy Bedard, Lenny Eichman, Daryl Boness, Sibylla, Mildred McDonald, Melissa Chappelle, Lori Swan, Ken Violet, Kathy Terrio, Vicki Brown, and Charmaine Gammon.
Sorry. He doesn't want to do it anymore.
So do we have our clerks from Monday or we don't?
Yes.
We do. 2 and 2?
I'm trying to, if the other, I emailed 4 of them, 2 for the list and ballots and everything, and 2 for counting. But if the 2 for counting haven't responded yet, so I can have the 2 that are coming count ballots.
Who accepted?
Man, I didn't get anything.
No, I had to make it even.
Okay.
Leslie Boness and Kathleen Terrio and Mauro Nason and Sibylla, but those 2 didn't answer me.
Okay. All right. All righty. So I move we ask all of these people to continue. Yes?
Make a motion to ask.
Make a motion to appoint these all for ballot clerks, those that want to continue. Second, great. Yes, Lee?
Do I understand that these ballot clerks are needed for the special town meeting?
Yes, we do a paper ballot.
Okay. Ordinarily, we haven't, I don't remember ever having had ballot clerks for open town meeting when we had a paper ballot.
We should have.
Okay, I'm just wondering because it doesn't seem like it's according to past protocol. I don't have a problem with it.
Trying to do things right from now on.
Okay.
Moving forward in the 21st century.
Just, I'm just putting out the wonder since it's not according to past protocol, so just wondering.
Well, normally I have Jaylene check voters in,
Right. Usually it's.
but she's not actually a ballot clerk, so that's not totally correct. And it's gonna be people are gonna rush in. I'm not gonna be down there. I don't have time to be down there checking people in, making out cards, handing out ballots. Anyway, so.
I'll just make a note that Cassidy Bedard and Ken Violet, I'm not sure of anyone else, but those 2 chose to help but not get paid last year.
And Leslie
And Leslie
and
Boness.
Melissa Chappelle.
And so thank you to everyone that do that, and thank you. You don't need to do that, but it's nice that you do.
And no thanks to the others, right?
Yes, I sent them thank you cards actually, because I was so impressed at the presidential election, how well they did.
You're so good at that. That is awesome.
I know.
Got like a full team, this is great. There we go. Excellent.
Thank you.
All right, ad hoc planning committee, we discussed at the comprehensive plan review committee meeting that we would reappoint all the current committee members which agreed to continue on this ad hoc committee. So we need to make a motion, yes? Can we just take the old forms, put a new committee name on them?
No.
Just try it out. So I'd like to make a motion that all the current committee members on the old comprehensive planning review committee,
Except,
except for our town clerk,
thank you.
will go to the ad hoc, will participate in the ad hoc.
What are you gonna call it? Ad
Right
hoc
now, it's ad hoc.
committee or?
Yeah.
Comprehensive Planning Committee.
So I make that motion. All in favor? 32 pages again.
Give me some time.
Absolutely.
Go, you can move on.
All right, there's an upcoming training for vital statistics training, and Jaylene would, it would be really good if she attended that. Did you see that in there?
Make a motion for that.
Anyone have a problem with her attending that?
No.
Great. To make a motion that we send Jaylene to that training,
A second.
all in favor? Great. She sent the first page over to sign.
We can just do it before you leave. Let me work on them for a little bit.
Okay. All right, review correspondence. Is there any new correspondence you'd like us to review?
Just this. I couldn't copy it.
Oh, it's a new one. Nice.
It'll be available in the office.
Keep it. I'm not, you can keep it. Does she want me to hang on to it?
Every year, the University of Maine puts out a Maine policy review book, and this year it's a special edition on libraries. And it's always a good read. They've got some great stories. They feature places all throughout Maine. So if you want, I'll keep it in my box. If somebody wants to look at it, put it right there. Sound okay? And it's part of the Margaret Chase Smith Policy Center. Did you know that? Agenda items for next meeting. Final administrative ordinance 2.
Building lots ordinance.
Any other items? I'm sure there's a million of them. I tried to get through some tonight, so we didn't keep carrying them over.
A job description for that. Somebody's job description.
Where's that? Oh, well, we did the constable already, so that was the last one, right?
But you said you wanted to add it to the administrative ordinance.
Right, that's why I put down final changes to admin ordinance. I just want to say, see job description. I don't want to put 2 pages of job description in there. I just want to be able to say that's where it is. I think you had mentioned before, and Lee mentioned it.
Yeah, but I didn't know it was gonna,
No, that we want to be thoughtful about what we put in there, because if we have to go to a town meeting to make a change that somebody will wear a collared shirt as a constable or something, we really don't want to have that in the ordinance. That could be in the job description. So. Great, anything you can pick up? Kathy? All right, opening for open session. Yes, Peggy?
I just want to clarify that at a previous select board meeting, you had said it was approved for the planning board to use the town scanner. I just want to verify something we had discussed about being able to scan into an email address for the planning board. Did you discuss the two? Did you know? Okay, so Susan and I were over in the town office and noticed that the scanner is set up so you can put individual email addresses in there and designate that the items that are scanned will go to a separate email address. And we discussed having an email address from the planning board for our documents when they're scanned, so that we can then index them and organize them, and then they'll be available whatever form we end up deciding to do the public format via the website.
so does it matter if I email the scanned documents from my computer to you? Or if you have your own separate email?
So the copier has the ability, they're just trying to
Make it easier.
make it easier so you don't have to go through everything and go send. That, on the copy, you can actually add another person to send it to, an outside email, at least. It's very similar to the ones we have at my work and has multiple emails. People can fax scan and it goes right to them. So,
I'm just trying to not use paid for employee time. That's all the reason I'm doing this.
and I had mentioned earlier when we voted, when we talked about this too, is that if you want to do this on a weeknight that they're not working, we don't have meetings, that I'll go with you.
And
I'll do-
before it's spring and people won't want to be inside doing this on a weekend.
Yes,
Some other time.
correct. Yeah. Okay, is there any?
I know, that's what.
Can I have a question for Peggy?
Sure.
Is your budget request still $800 for a scanner? Okay, because I talked to a planning board member and they didn't, thought it was
We
300.
didn't change it. The request was if the scanning project did not get funded from the grant, then we were going to ask for the scanner. But you know, if we start playing over there and get things done efficiently, maybe we don't even need that, but I just, I was just trying.
Have it out there, yeah. Just want to have it out there.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Because then it could be used for any committee too. Or the whole town office.
Yeah. Is there another item for open session? Anybody? Hi, welcome to the meeting. Thank you for coming, everybody. All right. Nothing else, then we will go into executive session. And move forward with that.
Do you want to do
Oh, hold on one second. Yeah,
the second one first?
yes.
Okay.
We'd like to go into the second executive session first. And so this part of the community meeting is adjourned, so thank you all for coming. I appreciate you being
Who seconded it? You?
all in favor. Okay.
Starting.
Rusty, don't go away.
You have all of this?
Yep.
I
So she's staying in the meeting, so
What's that?
I've got eggs.
Awesome.
I figured it would save you some time.
I only have like 2 hours to wait. I'll catch up with you.
Yeah, so I'll just.
Good.
Deluxe.
I have jars and 8 cartons too, but I'll swing them.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter.
What extra
I mean,
Not 200.
not that, like that bag that Cindy brought to me, that most of them went in the garbage because they were junk. So,
Yeah, if they're not clean and looking good, you don't get them.
I tell you, food back there, some of the other day, tear up and do some.
oh, yeah, I mean, I think so.
Have you got a